Here's the thing. The Walking Dead got really bad a few years ago, and because I didn't have anything nice to say about it, I stopped watching it for a little bit. And the only reason why I've started to watch again this season is because I was told, hey, it's getting a lot better. Which means, unfortunately, I missed the beginning of the Whisperers arc in the show. Though, of course, I've read all the comics. That being said, the shaky cam in the show still makes me want to kill myself. You know what I really like about Gamma, or I guess she's just Mary now? She realizes that she's a coward, and she accepts that. She talks about how she was an ordinary person, and she and her sister needed someone to lead them because they kept making a lot of bad decisions. And I know we like to harp on people for being followers or sheep or whatever we do, because, you know, you're a sheep unless you do what that person wants you to do. You know, they don't want you to be that type of sheep. They want you to be the sheep that likes and dislikes the things that they like. So yes, think for yourself, absolutely. But the sad truth is, or maybe it's not sad, it's just our nature, a lot of us are followers. A lot of us need guidance, or we're going to keep fucking up. There's a reason why there's a lot of laws and there's a lot of repercussions if you do shitty things. People would absolutely do it, and the world would be so much more chaotic without rules and regulations. People need to be guided, for the most part. And I love that Mary has accepted that. She's not trying to necessarily justify, I did these fucked up things, though of course you can see it from that way, and maybe deep down she is, but she's being open and honest. I need someone to follow. Which also, her Saint Alpha has a way of mixing things up. I know it is basically a cult, and I know the psychology of a cult, but I wish we could go more into it and spend more time with the Whisperers, because obviously their arc is coming to an end, and that's disappointing. I actually teared up, and no, I'm not PMSing. No, I'm not PMSing. When Judith told Mary, you just ran into the wrong person first. If you would have been with my mom or dad, you wouldn't be in that cell. I know the lines were written for her, but damn, that was really powerful, because for a lot of people, it's who you run into, it's who you meet first. And if you would have been in a better situation or with a better mentor, your life may have gone a completely different way, which of course we have tons of studies showing that. A lot of fate or direction of people's lives can be their circumstances. So her saying that and Mary acknowledging that, and hopefully she'll be able to forgive herself. She still did really shitty things, but for her to go forward and realize, oh, okay, this is why I went down the path I did, and maybe I can start staring back towards redemption. Obviously, if you follow me, especially my Game of Thrones, The Song of Ice and Fire videos, you know that I have a hard time with redemption, and when someone is actually forgiven for something, and if they actually can. For example, not to bring up Game of Thrones in a Walking Dead video because that's obnoxious. Sorry. Jaime Lannister. A lot of people love Jaime Lannister and felt that he redeemed himself. And where he's at in the books, he should be forgiven for the shit he did. Where I'm, fuck that guy. Not a popular opinion. Let me tell you that. Okay, Beta getting into Alexandria. I love the tunnels, but part of me giggled when he went down into the tunnel in the RV access and there was a Whisperer standing there and holding out a lantern. How much you want to bet? That's her job. All she does is sit in that tunnel for hours every day, waiting just in case she's needed. Funniest fucking job ever. Guaranteed it's a thing. I kind of like, even though I know it's ridiculous, the whole cave system and tunnels to get into Alexandria, though I did giggle a little bit when he was popping out of the grave. I don't know if it's because I'm a child in an old woman's body or what, but it was a little funny. Come on, just a little bit. I like that Beta was basically a horror movie, you know, where you have the killer stalking around and going to the houses and just brutalizing people. I wish we would have seen more of that. I don't know if it's because I'm a sick fuck or not. Maybe it is. Maybe I just have no taste. I would have loved to see Beta going around and killing more people. Also, Beta could have totally had a career in WWE. Do you see that body slam? damn, dude. That's impressive. Also, rip her because she's super dead. I like that we also followed horror movie rules, that the killer just doesn't die. He gets shot, he gets fucking banged up, and he just keeps going like a Terminator. I thought that was funny and was done on purpose. I mean, besides obvious plot armor, and they're not going to kill Beta there. Though, they could have as a huge surprise. That would have been cool. By the way, Judith, always double tap. I realize you're a child. Come on. It's like the #1 rule of a zombie apocalypse. Also, why didn't Mary grab the gun from Judith and put it to his head and blow his brains out? It just was silly. And that kind of goes into how Rosita had those repeated nightmares of a whisperer getting into her house and killing her baby. And I feel like given those nightmares, she would be better armed, like having a gun or something, and she wouldn't have had to fight with an object that was for swinging at Beta. Rosita, I know you're a badass, but you're also very tiny, and that dude is very big, and I do not know why you didn't have a gun on yourself in general in this circumstance. Although before I move on from Alexandria, I do want to say I didn't really like how Gabriel was being this episode, and I'm kind of hoping he dies soon. I actually put that in my notes. I hope you die. Just he's coming across as really douchey, and I'm really not liking it. And I actually liked Gabriel when he was more of the cowardly priest or pastor and trying to make amends for it, but I feel like he's swung too far to the other side. Or maybe deep down he's always been a douche, so, you know, he's always gonna be a douche. Oh, lastly, how did Beta and Mary get out of Alexandria with nobody noticing? I understand there was a lot of chaos because of the walkers and everything. It just seemed a little silly that they're just walking along. Also, damn, dude. Nobody can hit Beta? Some bullshit. All right, let's move on to the other side of the episode. I think Daryl's shooting at some of the Whisperers and hitting one to make them panic and have the horde turn on them was really cool. Actually, and I'm really proud of them for not doing this. I thought at any moment Carol was going to pop out and help Daryl. She had been following him the entire time, and then they were going to team up and she was going to rescue him. I was shocked that instead it was Lydia that was following him. So, good job subverting my expectations. I know that phrase causes some people to start having seizures. I will say I'm not a fan of the bloody eyes vision cam. I feel like they could have done it once and gotten the point across, or, you know, paid the actor to do what he's supposed to do. Act. Show us that he has blood in his eyes and it's difficult to see. It was a little too much. And a little stupid. And let's go on to plot armor. Besides, I don't know how Beta didn't die. How did Alpha and Daryl not die? Daryl, dude, you were stabbed in the artery. You then pulled the knife out, which is a major no-no when you have severed an artery, and your blood went everywhere. He should have lost blood so quickly. There was nothing they could have done. In fact, we have shown this type of wound in The Walking Dead before, and that person has died before they can help them. So I know it's the joke of how dare you not have 100% realism in a show with zombies, but you have to be consistent with your rules, and if you show something as a rule before in your show, you have to keep that being the rule. You can't just go, well, it's a show about the undead, so... No, it's a show about the undead, but the people alive still follow normal biological processes, and ones we've seen before. So, shame on you. Daryl should be super dead. I do like the idea of Lydia dragging a grown-ass man all the way out to a tree and propping him up and dealing with his wound before he bled out and died, though. I think that is just top-notch writing, and nobody can say it's stupid as fuck. Alpha, I mean, she basically has bad parenting 101, but I do like how she is so messed up and so stuck with her way of thinking that she's like, oh, yeah, hey, kill me, Lydia, and then you can take over. This is totally normal parenting. This is super great. I was shocked that Lydia didn't kill her, but she made that point to Daryl. Could you kill your own dad? Although at the same time, I thought to him killing Walker Merle. He really got into that. So I guess Alpha is being rescued by the Whispers, by her people, and she's just gonna go absolutely nutters and just burn the shit out of Alexandria and massacre them all. I have a feeling that this next episode or the episode after is going to be the end of her, because she's just gonna absolutely lose her shit and go psycho and do an all-out assault on Alexandria, maybe Hilltop. And that's basically her end, or maybe Negan steps in and goes, whoa, 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 whoa. Kind of crazy. If Alpha walked away right now, though, she could have a very promising career as a mumble rapper, though. Does anyone know what the fuck she's saying? Okay, so here are my next episode predictions. Alpha, like I said, goes crazy. She does an all-out assault on Alexandria, maybe Hilltop. She sends the horde. She's lost her mind. Negan feels like he has to step in. Maybe we get to see Mary reunited with her nephew. We see her fitting in at Hilltop. Gabriel in some way ends up dying. That's just a secret wish on my part. Aaron is protected because he is a total cutie. Nothing's gonna happen to him. Please, The Walking Dead, don't do this to me. And I gotta think we see Michonne, how she is stepping away from the show, either this next episode or the episode after. So those are my thoughts on this episode. You can let me know what you think. What are your predictions for the next few episodes for the rest of the season? Like, subscribe, and let me know in the comment section down below. Also, let me know how to expect a child that grew up in the zombie apocalypse to double tap is a very unrealistic and terrible thing to expect on a child that grew up knowing how to survive her entire life in those conditions. Just not realistic at all. So unfair of me to make that point.